What if I told you the reason your dream life hasn't landed isn't because you're blocked, it's because you're gripping too tight? What if your manifestations aren't late, wrong, or missing, but suffocating under the weight of your overthinking? Let that sit for a second. Breathe it in, because the truth is, the universe isn't rejecting you. It's simply trying to respond. And your energy keeps changing the instructions. Let's be honest, most people don't manifest from clarity. They manifest from chaos, from clutching, hoping, spiraling, affirming with shaky hands and furrowed brows. They're not sending out confident declarations. They are sending emotional smoke signals. You're not manifesting wrong. You're just manifesting from effort, not from essence. So welcome. This isn't just another how to manifest fast video. This is an energetic intervention because you're not broken. You're just out of alignment. And today, we're decoding the spiritual artillery in Eva Hartley's Manifest and Receive, a book that isn't about wishing but about remembering. It doesn't scream, "Try harder." It whispers, "Be still." So grab your tea, light a candle, turn your phone on Do Not Disturb, because we're going somewhere deep today. And once you land here, you don't go back. Let's begin. Let me ask you something. When you say your affirmations, do you believe them? Or are you secretly praying they override your fear? When you visualize your dream life, is it laced with peace or panic? Be honest. Because you can't fake frequency. The universe isn't moved by drama. It's moved by truth. And energy doesn't lie. You might say, "I'm abundant," but if your stomach is in knots and you can't sleep at night because rent's due, then no, you're not manifesting abundance. You're manifesting anxiety dressed up in a $2 affirmation from Pinterest. That's where Manifest and Receive flips the entire manifestation industry on its head. You've been taught to do more, write more, say it louder, scream it into a void and hope the void answers back. But Eva says something radical. She says the universe doesn't need your noise, it needs your stillness, because the universe doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your identity. Let that settle. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are, especially when no one's looking, especially in those quiet moments when you're scrolling your phone and comparing your life to strangers, when you're sitting in your car, wondering if it's all ever going to work out. That's when your real vibration leaks out. And that is what the universe responds to. Let's dig deeper. The problem isn't that you're lazy. It's that your hustle is laced with desperation. Desperation, that sneaky little devil, shows up in disguise. It looks like consistency. It wears the mask of ambition, but underneath, it reeks of fear. It's that silent scream inside you saying, "If I don't make this happen soon, I'm nothing. I'll be forgotten. I'll be stuck forever." That energy, that's what gets broadcasted into the quantum field. And guess what? The universe is fluent in that language. It mirrors your fear, not your Pinterest vision board. This is what most people miss. They think manifestation is about earning their desires, about convincing the divine to finally reward them. But manifestation isn't about earning, it's about embodying. Say it with me. I don't attract what I want. I attract what I believe I already am. You want love? Be the frequency of love without waiting for someone else to reflect it. You want wealth? Be the energy of security, not survival. You want peace? Then don't keep arguing with your anxious thoughts at 2 a.m. expecting them to shut up. Manifestation is not begging the universe to give you a gift. It's becoming the person who already received it, and then watching your world reconfigure around that truth. And that is where Manifest and Receive slaps you out of your spiritual tantrum. Let's talk about alignment. Real alignment doesn't feel like control. It feels like surrender. It's not about doing more to force your reality. It's about doing less to return to your truth. You see, we've all been conditioned since childhood to chase worthiness. Be a good girl. Work hard. Earn love. Deserve success. It's endless. But the energetic world doesn't operate on hustle currency. In the energetic realm, trying too hard actually repels what you want. It's like trying to catch a butterfly with a chainsaw. Your intentions may be pure, but your method is all wrong. Eva Hartley strips this down to something beautifully simple. You don't manifest when you're trying to become someone. You manifest when you remember who you've always been. Let that hit you, because deep down, you know this. You've felt glimpses of that version of you, calm, magnetic, certain, the one who doesn't need to prove, the one who knows it's already hers. But that version doesn't come from thinking harder. She comes from being. Let's pause here. Close your eyes for a second. And I want you to imagine something. What if, right now, everything you want was already yours? Feel it. No rush. No trying. Just feel it. What does your body do? Does your breath slow down? Do your shoulders drop an inch? Does your heart soften? That right there is the portal. That's the gateway between striving and receiving, between doing and becoming, between begging and attracting. You don't create from force. You create from frequency. You don't have to convince the universe to bless you. You only have to convince yourself that you're worthy of being blessed. And the moment you stop chasing and start being, you step into alignment. That's where magic lives. That's where everything shifts. Let's go deeper. You've probably heard the phrase, you create your reality. But what they forget to tell you is that you don't create it from your conscious wishes. You create it from your subconscious identity. Your conscious mind is the dreamer. But your subconscious mind? That's the architect. That's the builder. That's the one calling the shots behind the scenes, even while you're out here trying to tape vision boards to your bathroom mirror. So here's the million-dollar question. What does your subconscious actually believe about you? Because if it still whispers things like, I'm not worthy, I have to work hard to be loved, money doesn't come easy, I always mess things up at the last minute, then guess what? Those scripts are running your show. They're not just thoughts, they're vibrational commands. And until you rewire those patterns, you'll keep trying to build your dream life on the foundation of self-doubt. That's like trying to build a luxury mansion on top of an earthquake zone. Eva Hartley understood something crucial. Affirmations without feeling are just noise. You can say, I am enough until your throat is dry. But if your nervous system doesn't believe it, nothing changes. Because here's the truth. You cannot out-affirm your trauma. You cannot out-visualize your pain. You cannot out-manifest the subconscious identity of not good enough. So what do? You go inward. You stop scripting what you want and start becoming who already has it. That's what emotional rewiring is about. That's what makes Manifest and Receive different from every cookie-cutter self-help book on manifestation out there. Because Eva doesn't just tell you to think positive. She shows you how to become energetically congruent. And that's the secret ingredient nobody talks about. Let's break down how this actually works. No fluff, just energetic facts. The brain is a pattern machine. It thrives on what's familiar, not what's ideal. So if you grew up in chaos, your nervous system now equates chaos with safety. If you were praised for overachieving, your subconscious now thinks burnout equals love. If your caregivers struggled with money, your body now sees wealth as unfamiliar, and unfamiliar often gets labeled as unsafe. So every time you get close to breaking the cycle, something inside of you pulls back. It sabotages, it procrastinates, it doubts. Not because you're lazy, but because your subconscious is trying to protect you from unfamiliar joy, unfamiliar love, unfamiliar success. And this is where breathwork, emotional freedom technique, EFT, identity embodiment, and somatic practices become your liberation tools. This is the power of feeling-based healing. You're not just thinking new thoughts, you're rewriting your nervous system. You're teaching your body, yes, it's safe to receive. Yes, I can be wealthy and still loved. Yes, I can feel peace and still be productive. Yes, I can be seen and not be abandoned. That's when your energy shifts. That's when the universe finally gets a clear signal. And when that happens, things begin to move fast. This brings us to the essence of manifest and receive. To change your life, you don't need more goals. You need a new energetic home address. It's not about adding more to your to-do list. It's about deleting everything that no longer matches the identity you're stepping into. The biggest spiritual lie is that you have to earn your worth. The biggest truth is, you are born worthy. And the most potent frequency you can ever emit is the one that says, I remember who I am. You are not your trauma. You are not your lack. You are not the timeline society says you're behind on. You are a living, breathing manifestation engine. If only you'd stop clouding your signal with doubt. So let's anchor into this. Stop trying to get what you want. Start learning to receive what's already yours. Receiving isn't passive, it's powerful. It requires more faith than force, more identity than strategy, more surrender than hustle. Because the moment you start radiating, I already have it, that's when it arrives. Not because you chased it, but because you matched it. Let's talk about this idea of identity embodiment. This is next level spiritual science. You're not trying to get rich. You're remembering the version of you that already is. You're not trying to find love. You're collapsing timelines to the version of you who's already in the relationship of her dreams. You're not visualizing success. You're waking up to the version of you who already knows her voice changes lives. This is quantum self-identity, and Eva Hartley breaks it down so clearly. You don't chase your higher self, you inhabit her. So how do you do that? Simple, but not easy. You ask yourself one question. What would the version of me who already has it all do today? Would she beg the universe? Would she spiral in anxiety? Would she shrink when people doubt her? Would she question her magic because of a low view count or a quiet day? Number. She would breathe, she would trust, she would move as if the outcome is inevitable, because in her reality, it is. That's how you collapse timelines. You don't wait for the life you want to show up. You show up as the person who lives that life, and the universe scrambles to catch up. Pause. Let that hit. You've spent years asking for what's already been waiting for you to become it. You don't need to earn alignment. You just need to stop arguing with it. And this, right here, is why most people stay stuck. They keep looking outside when the entire game is played within. So what if today, you decided to stop begging for your desires and started acting like they were already yours? Not pretending, not faking it, but embodying the feeling so deeply that your nervous system starts operating from that place. Because here's the truth. The universe isn't checking your bank account. It's checking your belief. It's not responding to your mood board. It's responding to your magnetic field. You're not here to hustle for breadcrumbs of your dream life. You're here to become the frequency of the feast. And that's what manifest and receive burns into your DNA. Let's get brutally honest. The version of you that's addicted to striving will not survive the version of you that's rooted in being. You'll have to kill off the people pleaser. You'll have to silence the overachiever. You'll have to grieve the version of you that thinks she's only lovable when she's useful, productive, or perfect. Because that version, she's exhausted. She's brittle. She's tired of performing. And the universe is waiting for the real you to return. Not the polished one. Not the hustler. Not the one chasing validation. The one who knows. The one who remembers. The one who finally realized that her power isn't in her grind. It's in her grounding. Here's a truth most people never hear. You don't have a manifesting problem. You have a reception problem. Because manifestation isn't about chasing the life you want. It's about becoming the kind of person who feels safe enough to receive it. Read that again. You don't need more vision boards. You need visceral safety in your nervous system. You need to trust that it's safe to hold wealth, that it's safe to be seen, that it's safe to be chosen. Until your body agrees with your dreams will stay energetic ideas floating in the quantum, not materialized miracles walking into your life. This is why most people sabotage their manifestations. They're not resisting success, they're just terrified of what happens after it arrives. They're not afraid of the money, they're afraid of what people will think when they finally have it. They're not scared of the relationship, they're scared of being fully known and possibly fully abandoned. They're not resisting peace, they are addicted to the chaos that once made them feel alive. And that's the fracture. That's the gap between desire and embodiment. So here's the real work, not forcing outcomes, but dismantling the frequency of fear that keeps pushing your manifestations away. Let's talk about vibrational matching, because this is where energy stops being a nice idea and becomes a lived reality. Everything is energy. You've heard that 100 times. But have you lived it? Have you walked into a room and felt the heaviness before anyone spoke? Have you ever met someone who instantly made you feel calm or instantly made your skin crawl? That's not personality. That's frequency. And the universe, it matches your frequency before it matches your words. So here's the law. You don't attract what you write. You attract what you're wired for. Want wealth? You need to feel safe being wealthy. Want love? You need to feel worthy of intimacy. Want peace? You need to detach from the need to control everything. Your job isn't to manipulate the universe. Your job is to match it. Eva calls this energetic congruence. When your thoughts, feelings, actions, and identity are all playing the same music, that's when the universe starts dancing. But if you say, I'm abundant, while still moving like someone who's afraid to check her bank balance, if you say, I'm loved, while texting someone who breadcrumbs you emotionally, then the signal is scrambled. The manifestation doesn't land. Not because the universe said no, but because you haven't said yes to your own becoming. Let me give it to you straight. You don't get what you want, you get what you normalize. If chaos feels normal, you'll recreate it. If being overlooked feels familiar, you'll keep choosing relationships that reject you. If scarcity feels like home, you'll self-sabotage every time abundance knocks. So the real shift, it's not in your dream board, it's in your baseline frequency. Your baseline is your autopilot. It's the emotion your nervous system returns to when you are not thinking about it. And Manifest and Receive teaches you how to raise that baseline, not by faking confidence, but by rewriting your energetic foundation. So start asking yourself better questions. Not, how do I get what I want? But, what would it feel like if this was already normal for me? What would it feel like if love was consistent? If money came with ease? If success wasn't a spike, but a new default setting? That's how you collapse timelines. That's how you manifest. Not from craving, but from certainty. This is the energetic evolution of manifestation. We're not scripting anymore. We're sovereigning. We're not begging the universe to choose us. We're becoming the chooser. You are not a puppet waiting for divine scraps. You are a divine mirror. And when you clean the lens of fear, shame, and doubt, what's reflected back to you is magic. But you have to be willing to surrender the comfort of your old self. Because that version of you, the one who panics when things go well, the one who settles because she's scared to be alone, the one who undercharges, overgives, overthinks, and pretends she's fine, she doesn't get to come with you. Not into your next chapter, not into the timeline where your dreams don't just flirt with you, but commit to you. Eva says this beautifully. You don't need to become someone new. You just need to stop pretending you're someone less. You already are her. You already are abundance in motion. You already are love in full bloom. You already are worthy of what you seek. And when you finally stop resisting that truth, everything begins to shift. Let's hit this from another angle. Most people don't fail at manifestation because they're undisciplined. They fail because they never learned how to receive without guilt. You were probably taught that love must be earned, that pleasure is indulgent, that rest equals laziness, that success makes you a target. So every time you get close to your desire, you either reject it, sabotage it, or shrink under it. Because somewhere deep inside, you still believe you're unworthy of ease. But I'm here to tell you, ease is not a luxury. It's your birthright. Manifestation isn't a hustle sport. It's a healing art. And the most radical act you can take today is to let it be easy. That doesn't mean passive. That doesn't mean lazy. It means energetically aligned. It means clearing the inner clutter that makes you resist what's trying to land in your life. Because the life you want, it's not on the mountaintop. It's behind the energetic walls you built to protect yourself. Walls built out of old heartbreak, old programming, old guilt, old versions of you who thought they had to do more to matter. But today, you get to tear those walls down. You get to open the gates. You get to receive. Not later. Not when you're more healed. Not when you deserve it. Now, let this next part land. If you're always trying to feel better, then you've already agreed with the lie that something's wrong with you. But what if nothing's wrong? What if the only problem is that you've forgotten how powerful you are? You're not broken. You're just buried. Beneath expectations, beneath timelines, beneath versions of yourself that you outgrew 5 identities ago. And your job now? Unbury, unlearn, unleash. You don't need more motivation. You need more remembrance. Because your manifestations aren't a reward. They're a reflection. And as soon as your identity becomes the match, your reality becomes the mirror. Let's talk about anchoring. Because it's one thing to shift your frequency for a few minutes after a great video or breathwork session. It's another to live from that vibration every day. You don't need more breakthroughs. You need more integration. Breakthroughs are flashy. They're emotional. They're exciting. But breakthroughs don't build your dream life. Daily alignment does. So let's get practical. If you're becoming the version of you who already has what she desires, then your day has to start reflecting that identity. Ask yourself, what do I no longer tolerate as someone who's already chosen, already loved, already abundant? Because if your habits are still rooted in survival, you'll keep attracting situations that require you to survive. You've got to upgrade your rituals. That means no more scrolling through comparison rabbit holes the second you wake up. No more watering dead plants. No more staying in relationships that rob your nervous system of safety and then blaming God for your emotional overdraft. That means treating your morning like a portal, not a checklist. If your first thoughts in the morning are fear, panic, and lack, you've already chosen your timeline for the day. So shift it. Start anchoring into the feeling of your future self before the world tries to hijack your frequency, before social media, before the texts, before the opinions. Ask, what would it feel like to live in my next level reality today? How can I embody that right now? You don't need a mansion to feel luxurious. You need to breathe with more presence. Drink water like it's holy. Speak like your words are spells. Move like your body is a temple, because how you do the small things is how you magnetize the big ones. Now let's talk about protecting your frequency, because once you align, life doesn't suddenly get easier. It gets louder. The moment you become magnetic, distractions come knocking. People from your past, old situations wrapped in new faces, tests disguised as opportunities. Why? Because the universe isn't just handing out dreams. It's refining you for the dreams you've called in. So let me be clear. Your next level life requires next level boundaries. Stop explaining your growth to people committed to misunderstanding you. Stop leaking your magic in rooms that make you shrink. Stop asking for permission from people who haven't even met their own power yet. You're not arrogant for protecting your energy. You're not selfish for choosing stillness over people-pleasing. You're not dramatic for walking away from anything that feels like an echo of your old self. Eva teaches that frequency is sacred. It's not something you try to raise. It's something you live from. And living from it means guarding it like it's your home, because it is. So set the boundary, block the number, decline the invite, raise the standard, and don't flinch. Because every time you say no to what drains you, you say yes to what aligns. And the universe, it's always listening. Now, let's dive into something often overlooked on the spiritual path: discernment. When you finally begin to align with abundance, love, peace, your life will start offering options. But not all options are aligned. Some things come not to bless you, but to distract you. Not everything that glitters is gold. Not every open door is divine. Not every compliment is connection. You need to ask, does this expand me or shrink me? Does this relationship ground me or confuse me? Does this opportunity feel like flow or force? Your nervous system knows. Your body always tells the truth. Alignment isn't about always feeling good. It's about feeling truth. Sometimes that truth is expansion. Sometimes it's grief. Sometimes it's letting go. But always, it brings you home to yourself. So develop a relationship with silence, because clarity lives in the quiet. And when you can sit still long enough to hear your intuition, you no longer need signs. You become one. Now let's talk about becoming a match, not just for moments, but for a lifestyle of receiving. This isn't about having good vibes on Monday and collapsing by Thursday. This is about becoming someone whose default state is trust. Someone who walks into a room with their energy already making the announcement. someone who no longer chases because they embody. This is the power Eva talks about, the power of energetic stability. You don't manifest from hype, you manifest from harmony, and harmony comes from consistency, not perfection. It's okay to wobble, it's okay to cry, it's okay to question, but then come back to your rituals, come back to your breath, come back to your vision, come back to your knowing, because that's the muscle, that's the work, that's what makes your manifestations show up and stay. Let's not forget the deepest truth of all. You are not manifesting to become worthy. You are manifesting because you finally remember you are, before the shame, before the scarcity, before the timelines, before the trauma. You are whole, you are divine, you are abundance in human form. And this journey, it isn't about getting back what you lost. It's about realizing you were never lacking to begin with. When Eva says manifest and receive, she's not giving you a strategy. She's giving you yourself back. She's reminding you that the universe doesn't need to be begged. It needs to be trusted. It's not your job to prove your worth. It's your job to remember it. And when you do, when your energy becomes clean, clear, grounded, and magnetic, that's when the doors open. That's when the timelines collapse. That's when the miracles arrive. Not because you forced them, but because you finally stopped resisting them. Let's get real. You don't just manifest through journaling, you manifest through relationships. Yes, the people in your life are walking, breathing mirrors of your vibration. Your friendships, your partnerships, your family dynamics, every one of them reflects a deeper truth about how you see yourself and what your energy is normalized to receive. Eva Hartley calls this the energetic mirror. It's not about blaming others. It's about seeing clearly. Ask yourself, why am I still attracted to emotionally unavailable people? Why do I overgive in friendships and feel depleted? Why do I feel smaller around certain family members? The answer isn't because they're toxic. The deeper answer is, you still believe that's normal. And if it's normal, it's magnetic. But here's the shift. When you begin to raise your frequency, not through hype, but through healing, your relationships either rise with you or they fall away, and both are divine. This is where spiritual growth gets uncomfortable, because sometimes alignment means grieving connections that can't walk where you're going. Sometimes manifestation demands loneliness, but only for a moment. It's not punishment, it's preparation. The universe is clearing space, recalibrating your inner world so that when new relationships arrive, they're not built on the same trauma foundation you're healing from. And here's the key. If you still crave validation from people who misunderstand you, you're not in alignment yet. You're still asking broken mirrors to reflect your wholeness. You're still letting old energy interrupt your new timeline. Let's shift that. Let's walk through a practice Eva refers to as the sacred mirror activation. Close your eyes. Think of the person who triggers you the most right now. The one who makes you feel unworthy, small, ignored, reactive. Now ask, what are they reflecting back to me about my own beliefs? Because the trigger isn't about them. The trigger is a teacher. That doesn't mean we tolerate abuse or dishonor. Never. It means we turn inward before we lash outward. Because every relationship is a classroom for your energy. When someone ghosts you, it reveals how you respond to abandonment. When someone betrays you, it reveals how deeply you've trusted the wrong energy. When someone respects you, it reveals how far you've come. The people in your life are not just companions. They're feedback loops. They're energetic data points showing you what you still tolerate, what you still believe, what you still attract. And when you shift, when your identity upgrades, your relationships follow suit. Suddenly, the breadcrumbs disappear. Suddenly, peace becomes your new baseline. Suddenly, love doesn't feel like anxiety anymore. That's not magic. That's manifestation through embodiment. Let's stretch this deeper. You've been taught to manifest things. But what if the universe doesn't care about things? What if the real test isn't whether you get the house or the car or the lover, but whether you become someone who doesn't betray themselves anymore? Let's sit with that. You can manifest $1 million and still feel worthless. You can attract a soulmate and still operate from fear. You can buy the dream home and still wake up dreading your own life. So here's the real flex. Can you hold your standards without collapsing under loneliness? Can you stay soft while setting sharp boundaries? Can you love someone and still walk away when they're not aligned? Because that's what energetic mastery looks like. It's not just knowing your worth, it's living it when it's inconvenient. It's not just talking about boundaries, it's enforcing them when it hurts. It's not just calling in abundance. It's not settling for scarcity while you wait. That's what shapes your field. That's what tells the universe, I'm not playing small anymore. Let's do a final reflection here. Ask yourself, where do I still betray my future self to please my past? That question alone can dismantle decades of misalignment, because every yes you give from fear is a no to your next level life. And when you say no from power, that's not rejection. That's redirection. That's the universe shifting the gears. That's you becoming your own sacred mirror. Clear, clean, unapologetic. Because you can't attract love if you keep abandoning yourself. You can't receive overflow if your standards are leaky. You can't call in peace while feeding chaos in the name of loyalty. So ask yourself daily, who am I becoming? And what would she allow in her space? Then let your answers shape your reality. Let your boundaries be sacred. Let your relationships reflect your new truth. Let your energy speak before your words ever do. Because this isn't just about you. This is about the frequency you're pouring into the world. And we're not here to pour from pain. We're here to overflow from presence. So now we come full circle. You started this journey thinking you needed more effort, more tools, more tricks. But what you truly needed was remembrance. The remembrance that you are not chasing a future, you're revealing a truth. The remembrance that you were never here to beg, shrink, prove, or perform. You are always here to embody. You don't have to become someone else to live your dream life. You have to become someone real, unmasked, unclenched, unwound, and unapologetically present. This is the essence of manifest and receive. It doesn't teach you how to manipulate the universe. It teaches you how to mirror it. Because the universe doesn't play favorites. It plays frequencies. And when you become a vibrational match for the life you've always desired, it's no longer about waiting for the miracle. You are the miracle. You are the answered prayer. You are the vision board incarnate. You are the dream realized in a body. You are the divine blueprint walking. So now the question isn't when will it come? The question is, are you willing to receive it? Are you willing to drop the identity that says you are not ready? Are you willing to stop waiting for signs and become one? Are you willing to act like your dreams are already familiar? Because they are. You've been to the future 1,000 times in your soul. You've seen her, you've felt her. She's calm, she's magnetic, she's steady. She walks into every room knowing she doesn't have to compete because her frequency speaks before her mouth ever does. And now, It's time to be her. Let's seal this moment with a sacred truth. The highest form of receiving is gratitude before arrival. So take a breath with me right now. Inhale the energy of it's already done. Exhale the doubt that says, what if it never happens? And now, say this silently or out loud. I choose alignment. I choose remembrance. I choose to live from the version of me who already has it. This is your reset. This is your timeline shift. This is your anchor. No more begging. No more waiting. No more chasing. You are done outsourcing your magic. Done performing for crumbs. Done pretending you're powerless. This is the age of embodiment. This is the season of sovereignty. This is the chapter where you stop watching others rise and remember, you were born to rise too, and rise you will. So if this video cracked something open in you, don't just click away. Claim your shift. Drop a comment below and speak it into existence. I don't chase. I align. I receive. Let that echo through the algorithm. Let that ripple through the field. Let that remind the universe, you're no longer hoping. You're here. And if you want more, grounded, raw, radically liberating spiritual content that slaps harder than your ego at 3 a.m., hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications. This channel isn't for the faint of heart. It's for the souls waking up, the ones choosing truth over trends, embodiment over ego, miracles over mediocrity. And remember, you're not here to manifest breadcrumbs. You are the feast. So walk like it, speak like it, hold space like it, receive like it. Until next time, stay grounded, stay powerful, stay tuned in, and whatever you do, don't chase, align, and receive. The sacred mirror. Let's elevate the conversation. Manifestation isn't just about your dream car. It's not just about your six-figure business. It's not just about calling in a soulmate who texts back and actually knows how to communicate. Those are beautiful things, and you deserve all of them. But if that's all manifestation is to you, you're missing the bigger assignment, because manifestation is not just personal. It's ancestral. It's collective. It's divine leadership. Every time you break a pattern, you're healing your bloodline. Every time you choose peace over panic, you're rewriting your family's nervous system. Every time you set a boundary without guilt, you're teaching the next generation what self-respect looks like. You're not just manifesting for yourself. You're manifesting for every version of you that didn't know it was possible. For your younger self. For your mother who sacrificed her joy. For your father who never got to rest. For your ancestors who prayed with empty hands and full hearts. You are the prayer they never got to see answered. So no, this isn't just about getting the bag. This is about holding the torch. This is legacy-level energy. This is spiritual leadership. She's not just handing you a tool. She's handing you a mantle, a responsibility to stop playing small, to stop calling your fear humility, to stop watering yourself down so other people don't feel threatened by your fullness. Because the moment you rise, others rise with you. Your glow gives them permission. Your boundaries light the path. Your joy becomes a roadmap. This is how leadership works in the energetic realm. It's not loud. It's not showy. It's magnetic. It's the kind of frequency that walks into a room and shifts it. Not because you're forcing it, but because you've become a portal of remembrance. A walking, breathing, unapologetic yes to what's possible when you stop betraying your light. Let's dive deeper. There's a reason your old environment felt so heavy. There's a reason your family doesn't understand you. There's a reason you've always felt different. Because you weren't meant to repeat the cycles. You were meant to complete them. You were born as a breaker, a builder, blueprint. And yes, it's heavy sometimes. Spiritual leadership is not always glamorous. It means making hard choices with a soft heart. It means holding vision when no one else sees it. It means being misunderstood by people you love. It means healing wounds that weren't your fault, but are your responsibility now. Because no one else in your family might do it. No one else might learn nervous system regulation. No one else might say no more to generational silence, scarcity, or survival mode love. But you are here. You're watching this video. You're doing the inner work. You're facing yourself in a mirror most people are too afraid to look into. And that is leadership. Let's pause for a moment. I want you to visualize a child, a little version of you, standing in a room full of the people you've outgrown, the energy you've broken from, the pain you've transmuted. Now watch as the current version of you enters the room, grounded, radiant, centered. The child looks up. She doesn't ask, "How many followers do we have?" She doesn't care about your income bracket. She doesn't even ask if you got the soulmate. She just wants to know, are we safe now? Can I play again? Can I laugh again? Can I dream without getting punished? Can I cry without being called weak? That's the kind of manifestation we're talking about now. That's what this work is really for. To restore that innocence, to protect that inner child, to show her she's not just surviving anymore, she's thriving. This brings us to the highest frequency of all, embodied remembrance. You're not manifesting to escape. You're manifesting to return. Return to the truth. Return to your soul. Return to the knowing that you were never disconnected, just distracted. When you lead from this place, when you show up as the version of you who remembers who she is, you're not just manifesting things anymore. You're activating people. Your voice heals timelines. Your story wakes people up. Your boundaries teach others what love looks like. You don't have to try to inspire anyone. Just be real, be raw, be regulated, be rooted. Because nothing is more magnetic than someone who knows who they are and no longer flinches when the world forgets. That's power. That's influence. That's leadership. Let's close this part with one of the most important truths you'll ever hear. The moment you stop trying to be impressive and start trying to be impactful, your manifestations accelerate. Because now, you're not chasing identity. You're radiating purpose. You're not manifesting from lack. You're moving from love. And the universe, it always responds to leadership rooted in truth. Not performance, not pretense, not ego, just presence. You don't need a throne to lead. You just need to stand tall in your own energy. Speak your truth. Choose your peace. Guard your joy. And others will feel it, even if they don't understand it yet. Because your life is a lighthouse. Your healing is a ripple. Your frequency is an altar. So walk like it. Breathe like it. Manifest like it. This is where it all comes together. You've done the inner work. You've reprogrammed the fear. You've walked through the fire of letting go. You've stood face to face with your unworthiness and chose to remember who you truly are. But now it's time to go beyond healing. Now it's time to receive, not passively, not politely, but fully, completely, majestically. Because receiving isn't about being lucky. It's about becoming the kind of person who no longer blocks what is already yours. You see, abundance doesn't just visit you. It wants to live in you. Peace doesn't knock once and disappear. It waits at your door until you're finally willing to open without fear. But most people don't know how to receive. They know how to hope. They know how to ask. They even know how to grind and strive and beg. But receive? That takes surrendered worthiness. That takes nervous system capacity. That takes releasing the identity that thinks it has to prove something first. So here's the next chapter of your life. You don't chase manifestations anymore. You let them catch up to you. Because when you finally align with divine timing, you realize it was never taking long. It was waiting for you to become a space wide enough, safe enough, sacred enough to hold it all. Let's make this tangible. To become a divine receiver, you must build capacity in 3 key areas. 1. Emotional capacity. Can you hold joy without sabotaging it? Can you feel loved without doubting it? Can you experience expansion without shrinking back into a version of you that was built for survival? Most people say they want miracles, but they don't know how to hold more than 30 seconds of peace before their trauma hijacks the room. So the work is this. Practice presence. Let joy linger. Don't flinch when things get good. Stay in the room with your blessing long enough for it to feel familiar. 2nd, energetic capacity. Can your body feel safe in abundance? Or do you still brace when things go right, expecting the fall? You don't manifest through logic. You manifest through embodied safety. So do the breath work. Move the energy. Speak to your nervous system every day. It is safe to receive. It is safe to hold. It is safe to keep. Because this is how you rewire your magnetic field. Not by thinking more, but by feeling deeper. 3rd, identity capacity. This is where the game changes. You are not here to receive as a wounded version of you. You are here to receive as the one who remembers she was chosen before she ever asked. The divine receiver doesn't hope. She knows. She doesn't wonder, am I worthy? She embodies it. She doesn't fumble when miracles arrive. She expands to meet them because she understands she was never manifesting things. She was manifesting her own remembrance. And now that she's remembered, the whole universe moves. Let's go even deeper. Becoming a divine receiver also means becoming a vessel. You don't just hold blessings, you distribute them. Your peace is an offering. Your voice is a bridge. Your energy is a balm for the collective nervous system. When people come near you, they feel something shift. Not because you're trying to impress them, but because you've become an open channel for divine truth. This is what Eva Hartley teaches without needing to say it out loud. When you fully receive your identity, you become the voice of identity for others. You don't have to preach. Your presence preaches. You don't have to convince. Your frequency confirms. You are not just manifesting for yourself. You are walking proof of what is possible when a soul stops pretending it's powerless. You are the revelation. You are the proof. You are the divine receiver, walking, breathing, unapologetically magnetic. Let's activate this in your body now. Wherever you are, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Hold it at the top. Now exhale slowly, like you're releasing every doubt you've ever inherited. Now place your hand on your chest and repeat silently or out loud. I receive because I remember who I am. I receive because I am no longer afraid of my light. I receive not just for me, but for everyone who will rise through my rise. I am the vessel. I am the miracle. I am the voice. And breathe. Let that sink in. Let it ripple through every cell of your body. Let it melt into your bones. This is not a performance. This is not an Instagram quote. This is not just a trend. This is a lifestyle. This is a lineage shift. This is spiritual authority without force. This is the moment you stop trying to be chosen, because you remembered. You already are. And now, the final question. What will you do with this power? Because now that you've remembered, there's no going back to pretending. You've been activated. You've been aligned. You've been reminded that the real work was never about getting more. It was always about becoming more available to what's already trying to reach you. So move like the miracle. Speak like the vibration. Decide like the divine. Stop explaining your light. Stop delaying your purpose. Stop doubting your alignment. You are the feast. You are the channel. You are the transmission. And from this moment forward, you don't chase. You tune in. You align. You receive. If this video moved something in you, don't scroll past the moment. Comment below. I am the divine receiver. I no longer chase. I remember. I receive. Let that be your vow to the field. Let that be your energetic contract. Let that be your shift. And if you want more of this, more sacred, grounded, soul-rooted spiritual content that feels like truth and hits like lightning, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and share this with someone who's ready to rise. Because this isn't a trend, it's a transmission. And the ones who feel it, we're not just manifesting anymore. We're transforming the world, one frequency at a time. See you in the next one. Until then, remember who you are. Be the vessel. Walk in truth and receive it all.